Well, it's early morning here at Krotona in Ojai, California. This is my last day. I thought I'd do this brief video early when I would have to wear a jacket. The rest of the time I don't, but I think it would be cruel given the weather conditions that have been facing my home of Olcott back in Wheaton, Illinois, with sub-zero temperatures down to 21 below in my absence. I think it'd be cruel to appear in shirt sleeves. So I do have a jacket on, even though I am sitting outside, and that is the mountain behind me. And those are the birds that you hear. But it's the end of a week, the Partners in Theosophy program, this year conducted by Nelda Samaral on leadership, and it has been really an excellent program. Each year is excellent, but this year I think it has been especially good. Nelda has conducted it for this past week, and there have been presentations by each of our partners, and really a really warm sense of community and camaraderie has developed here during this time. For me, it's always a very special time because as much as I love the program, I do have to say I love the people here. So many of them have been friends during my whole life as a member of the Theosophical Society. Going to have a brief word from Joy Mills during the course of this video because I just get tired of having to carry messages to and from Joy. Every time I see someone, they're asking me about Joy. How is Joy? What is Joy up to? So she'll tell you for herself. But that's always a wonderful opportunity to spend some time with her. And of course others. John Kern and his wife Ann were out here, and then there's Robert Elwood and Maria Paris and Lakshmi. The list just goes on and on and on. So this has been a very special program. Got a chance to speak here at the lodge, which I say it was a sitting room only crowd. They only have so many chairs, so it ended up with people having to sit on the floors. So fortunately they were willing to tolerate that. So a bunch of things I want to show you, not least of which is that since the last time we did this monthly video blog, I have been nominated as one of 2 candidates for the international president's role. As you know, Rada Bernier, our president for 33 years, passed. So that's something that's upcoming and that is whitening my already whitened hair. So we'll see how all that turns out, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on during this video. So here's the month in review.
So during the time that I was away at Crotona, my wife organized a celebration of Chinese New Year. She and my daughter and Christine Chianchosi rolled up about 100 egg rolls, and the kids and everybody had lunch and dressed in red because it's a very auspicious color. During the time and my wife lived in Singapore, it was always a very big holiday. So each year at the end of January for the past few years has found me out at Krotona in Ojai, California. Krotona, for those who have never been, is built on a hilltop, and there's a number of things that go on there. It has a library, it has a school, information, bookstore, a lovely bookstore which is headed by Carol Nicholson. It has dormitory, housing, lovely housing units. This is the one I stayed in while I was there. The library again, and just beautiful grounds. It's the headquarters for the ES in America, the Esoteric School of Theosophy, and just beautifully laid out. This year's program was headed by Nelda Samaral on leadership and visioning. Throughout the program, the various partners and their mentors got together. Partners gave presentations of a variety of sorts. It was a very good group. We had some luminaries from around the country. A group photo was taken with John Kern, Ann, and the whole group, all there together. While there, I had a chance with Maria Parison, Robert Elwood, Pablo Sender, and Joy Mills. I spoke on a panel. I had a couple of opportunities to speak. One evening at the lodge, we had an overflow crowd, which ended up with a number of people having to sit on the floor to attend, talking about urban spirituality. Carol Nicholson, past board member and longtime friend, introduced me that evening. And many other things went on. We had a partners' dinner, just in case you think there is no nightlife at Krotona. It's not true. We went to the house of Mihaela and Jara Waxman for a little bit of a get-together. Here I am with Guru Prasad, who is the head of the resident head of the school, and with Joy Mills. Had a good chance to spend some time with Joy, which is always wonderful. I always leave elevated and just have had such a long relationship with her. Then the time that I'm able to be with her in Krotona is always something special. I left charged up and ready for whatever it is that comes next.
I'm here in Crotona with you, and every single time I come out here, I get requests from people who have known you throughout the years, and I'm always having to bring messages, and I'm always have to carry messages. So rather than do that, I want you to give the message so I don't have to keep repeating it. How are you doing?
Well, I think I'm doing fairly well for my age.
Which is?
Anyway, I'm into the 90s.
All right.
A nonogenarian? I don't know.
That's past my vocabulary.
Anyway, I'm doing fairly well. And unfortunately, of course, I can't travel anymore. And I think of members, and I think of lodges, and I think of study centers that I've known in the past. And I just want to greet everyone and wish them well on the journey. It's an exciting journey that we're all on, and it really is fun too. I wouldn't give up any of the experiences I've had through the years, traveling, meeting with members. I greet them all. Many, of course, that I haven't ever met because they've joined more recently. But I can only assure those that have joined recently, it's a great adventure to be a member of the society.
Well, Joy, I can tell you are well loved in this section and around the world. I find myself walking in your footsteps in all these different places, and clearly I don't measure up.
Each other's footsteps. I had those who were my mentors and wonderful people, wonderful members who've gone on now. So I'm glad if I can be of some assistance to the society.
Oh, wonderful. Well, all right, Joy. I said we were going to do it. We did it, so the members have heard from you directly.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'm still alive. I'm still doing what I can do.
You're a whole lot more than alive, too. Thank you so much. That was easy. Painless, right?
Carry on.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about the international presidency. 2 years ago, in 2012, I had invited Radha Bernier to come and visit with us at Alcott when she came to America. She was going to Crotona, and then she was going on to Amsterdam, on to Holland, and then on to London. So she came. I had seen her in Crotona, but she had specifically wanted to talk about the subject of the future role as international president, and she suggested that it's something that I should consider. That's a thought that was a little bit surprising, but it was one to which she really wanted to give some thorough conversation. So we had a chance to meet about that quite a bit during the time she was there. During that time, we spoke a lot about the International Society, but I also had an opportunity to ask her if there were any health concerns that made this type of thinking something that needed to be immediate, which she assured me that there was not. Obviously, life can make its own demands on us, and we cannot always tell the future. So when she did pass in October, all of this thinking, which I felt had great time to think about, suddenly became quite pressing. So the upshot of all of this is that I went to our international convention at Adyar right around Christmas time this past year, and had a chance to talk with many of our general secretaries and members of the General Council. And as a result, I did decide I would accept nominations. So I received 15 nominations from around the world. So it's myself and CVK Maitreya, who lives in Chennai, who will be standing for the office. The way it works is that the ballots will be going out very, very soon. In the U.S., they should be out by the middle to the end of the month of February. And then you have until April to get those back in. They have to be tallied by April 26th in Adyar. So that's something that will then determine who it is that is in fact the president going forward. So just a couple of thoughts, because obviously with the announcement of this you receive questionnaires and people want responses to a whole variety of things, which is not really even permitted to circulate that sort of thing within the rules of the Theosophical Society. But there are a couple of basic things that I think any candidate who is involved in this particular election needs to, will acknowledge. There's always been sort of talk circulating about moving the international headquarters from Adyar to some other place. And I think that's one that you can just stop dead in its tracks. The international headquarters is at Adyar and will continue to be. So I think that's something that's true no matter who it is that's running for the position. In terms of, the vision for the Theosophical Society, I don't think that's something that has changed since its founding. It was founded with the direction to popularize Theosophy. That's something that we have done in a very successful manner as far as our concepts. Those are available through the world. In any dictionary you find many of these things, on Wikipedia. So the concepts are out there, and I think for the future of us as members and for the health of the organization, now we move on to actually applying those things to not just our individual lives, but there's a world that is perhaps more needy than the time at which the Theosophical Society was founded. So, the end of April, we'll know which direction the TS is going to be going in, but no matter what, it's going to be going in something of a new direction. Obviously, that's necessary. It's a different time. There are different tools that are available to promote our work. So, with that in mind, when we talk again, there'll be more. All right. So I close with a few more shots of the beauty of Crotona. Enjoy.